said I was beautiful. But it wasn't him talking, it was lust.
Yeah, it talks a lot, lust.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're looking at sitcoms that, for better or worse, seem to have disappeared from the public consciousness.
I've changed my mind about the rabbit, Treen.
How did he take it?
He took it to school.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Come Back, Mrs. Noah.
I'm standing here in the Pontefract International Space Complex, otherwise known as PISC.
The sci-fi sitcom so bad it almost got the BBC to refuse to make Red Dwarf the following decade. Come Back, Mrs. Noah is perhaps quite rightly forgotten by the masses. Intended as a vehicle for Mollie Sugden, massively popular at the time due to her role as Mrs. Slocum in Are You Being Served, Come Back, Mrs. Noah was an unmitigated disaster.
Visiting with us today, we have the winner of Modern Housewife magazine Cookery Competition 2050, Mrs. Gertrude Noah.
It followed the antics of the titular Mrs. Noah after she was accidentally launched into space.
Over here, dear.
Sorry I'm late.
The 6 episodes culminate in the spacecraft mistakenly being slingshotted to the edge of the solar system, where the cast would presumably run out of supplies and perish. Well, it's probably for the best.
Right, shall I be mother?
Oh, the things you men can do nowadays.
Number 9. Posh Nosh.
Welcome to Posh Nosh.
Hello.
Extraordinary food for ordinary people.
This Blink and You'll Miss It programme may not count as a sitcom at all, but it's not entirely clear what it would count as.
What are we going to do about chips? We're going to do what any good architect does. Tear them down and start again.
With only 8 10-minute episodes airing on the BBC in the early 2000s, you could have missed this entirely, despite the fact it stars Richard E. Grant and Arabella Weir. The short episodes are incisive criticisms of Britain's mind-boggling class system, full of jokes about chip shops and Argers that would be near impossible to explain to somebody from a different country.
As you can see, these have already been embarrassed. But to get that perfect chip shape, you'll need to borrow a tall man's little finger.
But it's also an effective satire of cooking shows, especially the rustic ones popular in the 90s and early 2000s, fronted by borderline aristocrats like Hugh Fernley-Whittingstall.
Matisse the oil sparingly over your vegetables and pop it into your Arga. Oh, thank you, darling. If you haven't got an Arga...
Number 8. It Takes a Worried Man.
Well, what do you think happens then?
When?
After death.
Look, do you think we could get on to thinning hair and sexual inadequacy kind of thing? All this death palaver puts the wind up me.
Sitcoms about divorced, neurotic men are 10 a penny, which may be one reason why a lot of people don't remember It Takes a Worried Man. Written by and starring Peter Tilbury as Philip Roth, It Takes a Worried Man follows him through the trials and tribulations of a midlife crisis. It's all exacerbated by the fact that his wife left him for a man who's worse than him in every conceivable way.
Now, what can you tell me about your marriage?
It was rather like a weather forecast. Short, unreliable and slightly depressing.
There were 3 series of this, but it's another sitcom that's just faded into obscurity. In the modern day though, it might be even more relevant, since more people than ever are working boring old office jobs and feeling aimless.
The old man's coming to see you today.
Terrific, that'll be the sack. I had hoped to keep this job long enough to buy a toupee.
Number 7. The Old Boy Network.
Peter, you remember Lucas, don't you?
Of course he does. We were at school together. How are you, Quack Quack?
Get ready, because this sitcom has rather a cerebral concept behind it. Set in 1982, Lucas Fry is a former MI5 agent, disgraced because of double dealing with the Soviets. He leaves Blighty for a few years, comes back, and opens a private detective agency, then hires the man who outed him as a traitor as his partner.
Think of the contacts we have. Think of the intelligence to which we have access, you in the West and me in the East. We can find things out for people and charge them an awful lot of money.
Together, They investigate espionage-related crimes and incidents in a parody of the kind of self-serious spy television that would become popular with Spooks 10 years later. It's a fascinating concept, with the two of them constantly at odds, but unfortunately most of the jokes just weren't that memorable. There were only ever 7 episodes made.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you mount an elaborate and extremely expensive operation to get a chap out of Dresden on November the 7th?
How was I supposed to know the bloody wall was coming down 2 days later?
Number 6. The Brittas Empire.
Would you like a drink?
I've just had a coffee, thank you.
Oh, I was thinking of something a bit stronger than that.
To say there were 7 series of this in the 1990s, it's remarkable that it's so rarely brought up in lists of great British comedies. That may be because its star, Chris Barry, is still best known as Arnold Rimmer in Red Dwarf. Such is Red Dwarf's popularity that the Brittas Empire, for all its success at the time, remains incomparable.
Now, this possibly isn't the time to discuss smoking and the rights and wrongs and the damage it does to your health, but litter's another matter.
But if you haven't seen it, you're missing out, because it's genuinely good. We follow the antics of the ambitious Gordon Brittas as he runs a leisure centre in the home counties, with Barry playing yet another irritating despot. His masterful delivery of Gordon's lines really makes it worth watching.
The first thing we do is smile. The first thing we say is, how can I help you?
How can I help you?
It draws people in, Carol.
Number 5. +1.
Lindsay and that prick from that boy band. She dumped me for Duncan from Blue.
Daniel Mays is better known as a dramatic actor these days, but he's actually been in a lot of comedies. But you'd be forgiven for forgetting that he was the lead in this sitcom, since the entire premise was that his girlfriend had left him to be with Duncan from Blue, played by none other than Duncan James, you know, from Blue.
You'll never get away with this from Blue.
No, I assure you, I already have.
May's character, Rob Black, is desperate for an impressive +1 to Lindsay and Duncan's wedding.
So while I'm never going to be as impressive as Duncan from Blue, I'll take a date along who is. I'll be fighting fire with fire.
Far from being a cheap gimmick, Duncan, from Blue, shows up in every episode, often in dream sequences, to taunt Rob. Did we mention he's Duncan from Blue?
No disrespect, but I'd dump you for Duncan from Blue.
Just think about it, man. He was in Blue.
Number 4. Freddy and Max.
Well, look, why don't you give me a resume or some press cuttings so I can bone up on you a little bit?
I beg your pardon, I'm supposed to be interviewing you. The only reason I'm not is that Malcolm highly recommended you.
Aging starlet Max Chandler, played by the one and only Anne Bancroft, has temporarily moved into the Savoy while she works on a London-based production, supposedly. Needing help to write her memoir, not to mention help with life in general, she hires television researcher Freddy, played by Charlotte Coleman.
I've forgotten all about you. Did you order yourself a snack yet?
Yes, thanks. Did you have a nice lunch?
Wonderful. Saw lots of old friends.
It was a ludicrously expensive show, thanks to Bancroft's commanding salary, and only ever got 6 episodes. Today, it's a show few people will remember, but it's actually rather good, with a solid odd couple premise and strong performances from both leads. It's just a little light on the jokes, with many scenes passing by with hardly a laugh at all.
I'm not going to have a perfect stranger going through my private papers.
Well, then your memoirs aren't going to be all that brilliant, are they?
Number 3. Comrade Dad.
Beetroot is good for us. Otherwise the party wouldn't give it to us. It's a complete food. You can live on a diet of just beetroot.
I know you can. We do.
The year was 1986. The Cold War was getting hot again, and the BBC produced a full series sitcom about what life might be like in Soviet-occupied Londongrad in the near future. Set in the dystopic land of 1999, London is a cold, unfriendly and ruthless place. Then, the Soviet Union turns up and puts a big red star on top of Nelson's column.
I'll run your bath, Mum. Nice and hot.
Only 3 inches, though. Save energy. Chairman Hoskins himself only has 3 inches.
So I've heard.
Alas, as a concept, it was doomed, because the USSR was already, quite clearly, nearing the end of its life by 1986, though the pilot aired 2 years prior. Despite being a premise that certainly could have done well, it was dated and destined to fail. In a way, though, that makes it very prescient.
Giving a gran a good meal. With nice meat. Rabbit meat.
What, you're going to kill him?
Well, you can't cut bits off without, can you?
Number 2. Solo.
There's no need to worry about food and me. I have one rule, that's all, no rubbish.
Can remember when you used to love rubbish? You didn't care whether it was entombed in batter or topped with ointment, down it went.
There were 2 series of this Felicity Kendall vehicle, in which Kendall plays a woman, Gemma, who's been cheated on by her boyfriend. She's now adamant that she wants to remain single because her life thus far has mostly been a disaster, and she wants a new job, new friends, and a new way of living.
Mother, it is no good sitting there trying to mesmerise me with your maternal gaze. I'm not marrying Danny. I'm not seeing Danny. I'm not aware Danny exists.
Throughout, she comes into conflict with her mother, who believes that the only way to be truly happy is by settling down and having children, often advising Gemma on that front. It's a low-key sitcom, concerned with the minutiae of daily life, which could be why it didn't have as much staying power as some other shows.
People who sit in cafes clanging their bracelets are often happy. I clang mine relentlessly.
I know.
Number 1. Next of kin.
There's no easy way to put this, and I'm sorry to break the news to you, but it's about your son.
Graham?
And your daughter-in-law.
Bootface.
I'm afraid there's been an accident.
Unless you're an avid theatre goer, you may not have seen Dame Penelope Keith in anything since the late 90s, when she all but left television. Perhaps one of the reasons why she was so eager to leave was that Next of Kin, her last leading role in a sitcom, was brutally cancelled by the BBC after 3 series.
What was he like?
Graham? Oh, I didn't know him very well.
But he was your son.
We didn't have much in common.
But in the years since, it's also fallen by the wayside where beloved sitcoms are concerned, and that's unfortunate. It follows Keith playing Maggie and her husband Andrew as they're forced to cancel their plans to retire to the south of France to look after their 3 grandchildren, whom they're now the legal guardians of.
I said we'd pick them up in the morning.
In the morning? Why us?
We are their next of kin.
I'm not going to be next of kin.
Let us know in the comments what sitcoms only you remember, and if you've watched any of these.
One doesn't just live in fear of growing old, you know. One also lives in fear that nobody cares.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.